Tim, welcome to Watch One. Thanks for logging on. Today we are looking at a very special haut de gamme Cartier. This is the CPCP Monopusher Tortue 18 karat white gold. You can see this Monopusher Cartier chronograph on our website watchyowant.com. Purchase it there if you like, and if you enjoy these videos and would like to see more, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, Watch You Want Inc. Now on my wrist, 6 1/3 inches, 16 centimeters in circumference, this exceptional CPCP Monopusher chronograph is perfectly proportioned. It is the image of the 1928 debut Tortue Monopoussoir chronograph, the first chronograph in the Tortue line, a historic reference for Cartier. It was recreated almost line for line, detail for detail, for the 1998 to 2008 CPCP collection. Here you can see 35 millimeters at its widest point. The sensuous Tortue style case is 45 millimeters from extremity of lug to the extremity of the opposite lug, and a nice svelte 10 millimeters in thickness. With the curvature of the bezel and the tumble home of that cambered crystal, it has beautiful compound curves, by the way. This will easily slip under a dress cuff or any tight sleeve. Now you can see the highlights of the case not only include the cambered crystal itself, but the gorgeous compound curvature, which includes a cambered case and case back. This one almost melts around your wrist, and with a nice supple rectangular scale alligator strap, it's incredibly comfortable on the wrist. Now from an ergonomic standpoint, it has a nice low profile matching 18 karat white gold Cartier deployant, and the nice thing about it is it features no strap minders, folding the surplus underneath the strap itself so that there is no excess, and it keeps the nice low profile of a traditional pin buckle in spite of featuring the security and substance of a deployant. Very well designed, but this watch is full of surprises. Now the Collection Privée Cartier Paris is Cartier as you imagine it, not the mass retailer of commodity luxury, but Cartier as it was when it was the jeweler to kings and the king of jewelers, basically a manufacturer of high-end bespoke luxury. Just as in the 1910s, 20s, and 30s, Cartier would work with the top watchmakers and movement houses of the day, back then often Audemars Piguet, Jaeger, or the increasingly integrated Jaeger-LeCoultre during the 30s. But CPCP harked back to that tradition, bringing in movement manufacturers like, once again, Jaeger-LeCoultre, Piaget, Girard-Perregaux, and notably a company known as THA, founded by no less than Vianney Halter, F.P. Journe, and Denis Flageolet. Each one of them went on to become rock star independents in his own right, but together with THA they created movements of the caliber of this Monopusher column wheel chronograph movement, 22 jewels. This is the Cartier MC045. Now it's beautiful on two levels. First, in the intelligence of its mechanical architecture, and second, and perhaps most accessibly, let me find the plane of focus here, in the finish of the movement. This is entirely wrought by hand. This is not Les Mousses de Cartier. This is pre-mass manufacturing. In the original sense of Cartier watchmaking, the best of Swiss haut de gamme watchmaking and finish inside the finest case and dial that Cartier can provide. You can see all the classically inspired elements of the dial before we delve back into the movement, the sensuousness of this 18 karat white gold case. These were built in yellow gold and white gold, but the combination of this almost cream off-white dial with the blazing polish of the white gold, there is no brushed surface to be seen here. It is quite literally gorgeous. This is one of the most effective uses of a minimum of size and chaste proportions I've seen in high-end watchmaking. It doesn't need scale to impress. This watch says it all with detail. You can see the gorgeous texture of the dial. It has an elaborate guilloche that's finely done and contrasts with the inset subregisters, each of which features its own distinct circular concentric guilloche pattern, that about the main dial itself more of a billowing rose lathe, almost a combination of concentric circular guilloche with a billowing, almost cloudy form. It has a volume and an undulation to it that, like the rest of the watch, is just sensuous. It's the only way to describe it. Gorgeous blued brigade hands at center, and a beautifully detailed minute track, as well as indices, little hashes between the hours and minutes. Quite beautiful, detailed. The resolution is outstanding. The printing is of the highest quality, and these little applied white gold hour pips inboard of the actual hour indices themselves add just a little bit more luster to a watch that already has it in abundance. Again, this is Cartier as you imagine at its very best. This is luxury that makes no excuses. Moving back to the movement, it has a couple of tricks up its sleeve. Not just the fine finish, which features everything from a unique Cartier decoration of the bridges to blazing anglage on all of the bridges themselves, and you can really see it reflecting there. Also features gorgeous decoration of the base plate and straight and radial graining of the wheels as well as levers. Now you can see the traditional column wheel right up here under my thumb. Now you can watch it cycle. As you operate the Monopusher movement, you have unfettered access to the entirety of the movement itself. The levers, the wheels, the cams, everything is revealed thanks to the manual wind nature of the movement, which has a power reserve of approximately 42 hours. You can literally watch everything from the beating heart of the watch and the balance to the action of the Monopusher chronograph mechanism in action. And thanks to a unique swivel pin system, the watch actually engages with the smooth action of a vertical clutch. So although it is a lateral clutch movement, thanks to the engineering wizardry of the likes of F.P. Journe, THA, and his fellow co-conspirators in the CPCP venture, this watch features the same precision that you would get on something like an in-house movement Rolex Daytona or a Frederic Piguet 1185 automatic movement with the vertical clutch action and the crisp feel and tactile response of the column wheel mechanism. This is a watch that brings it all together. Cartier luxury, history, as well as modern-day independent watchmaking savoir-faire for men who would go on to become legends in their own time. This is the total package. Style, heritage, and watchmaking excellence in a watch that is quite honestly among the finest produced by Cartier in the second half of the company's existence. For a company that now spans, I would say, the better part of 3 centuries, the bottom line is that this is a memorable reference even in the context of that entire continuity. Beautifully done and versatile. This is a watch that anyone could wear with incredible panache. You can see it, and if you like, you can take it home from our website, watchyouwant.com.